Hey, happy Friday to you. It is July 8th and time for this week's Friday Funnies, coming to you live from my beautiful hotel room in Orlando, Florida. And welcome to the heart of summer. I trust everybody made it through the 4th of July holiday with at least as many fingers as you went into the weekend with. You know, I live in a state where the possession of fireworks is against the law, and I say thank goodness. Because on the 4th of July, it sounded like a reenactment of Gettysburg in my backyard, and I can just imagine how loud it would be if fireworks were legal. In Fargo, North Dakota, a guy by the name of Jesse Burley decided to make his own fireworks with some explosives that are U.S. government grade. I don't know where he found them, but he made his own fireworks, and in addition to making a lot of noise, the grand finale separated Jesse from his head. That's right, something went wrong and blew his head off, which has yet to be found. I'm wondering if it flew into a neighbor's backyard, you know? Hey, what's that in the potato salad? And why is it staring at me? But at least he had all of his fingers. What I still don't understand about July 4th is why our founding fathers chose that day to claim our independence. I mean, they've been working on it for a while. They weren't really in a big hurry, and had they waited 2 days until July 6th, the date would have been 7/6/76. Huh? How cool would that have been? But hindsight is always 20/20, and while that spells perfect vision in my book, the people in this week's news are far from perfect. So, here's the top stories in this week's news. I'd like to know, what is it with today's modern criminals and luggage? You know, you remember a few weeks back we reported on a thief in Italy who hid inside of a suitcase that got loaded with the rest of the baggage on a bus on its way to the airport. Once the bus took off, this guy got out of his suitcase and went through all of the other passengers' belongings looking for stuff that he stole, then got back in his suitcase. Anyhow, he got caught. This week, in Mexico, a woman was visiting her husband in prison on a conjugal visit, and she was seen leaving the prison with a bulky-looking suitcase on wheels. So prison guards decided to check her bag, and inside, they found her husband curled up in a fetal position. So now he was sent back to jail. This woman was also arrested and sent to jail, so it looks like maybe the next conjugal visit could be at her place. At Coney Island, which is the home of New York's famed boardwalk, the city has decided to save money by rationing toilet paper in the public restrooms. If you go into a public restroom at Coney Island, there is no paper inside the stall. If you want some, then you have to ask the newly hired toilet paper administrator to give you a few squares. How is this saving money? You know, sure, they're using less paper, but now they're paying somebody to pass it out. And if I know New York, the TP handler is probably going to expect a tip. So my advice, if you're planning a trip to Coney Island, I suggest you bring your own Charmin, and by all means, go before you leave home. I have never been to prison, unless you count a visit to Alcatraz as a tourist. But I know that I just wouldn't do well there. You know, in addition to the bad food and the prison stabbings and the sodomy, you have to wear the same clothes every day. Well, as bad as I imagine prison to be, it just got a whole lot worse in Michigan, to the point where an inmate at the Macomb County Jail is suing the state of Michigan, claiming that he is being subjected to cruel and unusual punishment because he's not allowed to have pornography in his cell. Kyle Richards is the prisoner, and he claims that not having access to porn is, and I quote, psychological warfare against prisoners to destroy their morale, end quote. Sounds to me like somebody needs a boyfriend. Hey, that's all I have for you this week. Next week, we'll be back in our regular studio bringing you the Friday Funnies. So have a wonderful weekend. Pass these along to all of your friends, and I'll see you next Friday.